boom, boom, boom. If my dog was here, he would come running because his name is Bumper, and I sing bumpy, bumpy, bumpy songs to him. The silliness, right? My name is Bonnie Lacey. I'm an author and a lot of goofiness, but I'm an old lady of faith that writes books. And my title for this video today is Where Did I Get Interested in Angels and Demons and Why Write About Them? Where did that come from? I'm a nice girl. Wow. And it's hard to go back, but I have tried to a little bit this last Saturday. It's June 2026, and I was at a midsummer festival, local festival, and sold books. And as I was pitching, and again, I thank you people, first of all, for all the hard work that went into to create this event for the whole weekend. And it was rained out. They were dealing with horrible storms. Excuse me. But we did get to have the morning part of the festival, of the fair. But as I'm pitching my books, I'm telling people about my books like I just did here, what they are, what genre, what they're about, selling books. And the things I'm saying, it's like, why do I write about this stuff? Because they're gritty. My readers call them gritty. They're about angels and demons. Yes, and the humans and how they interact, spiritual warfare, whatever, faith, right? How did I ever start doing this and why? What started this? So over the weekend, and as I'm pitching everything, and talking to people, I'm also thinking about where's this from? And the first thing that I remember, the first book that I remember, and you might have read this one too, it's called This Present Darkness by Frank Peretti. And I looked all through my books. Why would I have given that book away? I never would have, so it's got to be here somewhere. I don't know. But when you read a book, it was published in 1986. I had to look that up. So I started really following Jesus. Again, I really started when I was in high school, but man, I kind of walked away from it. Not proud of that. But in 1984, I really dedicated my life again and have walked that way since. But, we think, oh, ta-da, I'm there. We're not. There's a lot of growth that needs to take place. We're like a bull in a china shop. You've heard that saying. Yeah, we're crazy. So we should be shut away, just like Paul was for however many years it was for him, and then released after a certain time. But I wasn't. But This Present Darkness was the first book of spiritual warfare that I'd ever read. And I remember one scene, and please help me by commenting down below. If you remember this, I'm not going to tell it correctly because I don't remember all of it, but I remember this guy, one of the characters, walking outside to or from something, right? And there was this demon hanging on his leg, making him limp and limp and limp. The demon was just hanging there, not letting go. That impressed me. That scene alone opened my eyes to, wait a minute, what if that really happens? Right? Which today I believe it probably really does. Just saying. Let me know how you feel down in the comments. And by the way, if you like where I go in any of my videos on my channel, please hit subscribe and like down below. I really appreciate it. I'm just an old lady of faith that writes books, so I share here, part of my writing process, part of how I get ideas or whatever, but also my faith and just being an old lady, right? So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit subscribe. Back to this, though. After This Present Darkness, I'm not sure when they came out. I've got them over here. Ted Decker's trilogy. That's book 2. I want book 1. And I must have, maybe I did give away This Present Darkness, because my granddaughter wanted to read these Ted Decker's. They're all, I have to read it, black, red, and white, because I can never get the colors correct. Because this is black on green. Come on, that messes with me. But this is the first one in the trilogy, and it was published in 2004. So that whole trilogy affected me. And one scene that I remember, they would go into dreams, and as they're dreaming, they're in a different realm that was just as real or more real than this one that we're in right now, the physical realm, sorry. And I remember one of the male characters was in a lake or a river someplace, and it was in this dream world, he had to learn how to breathe underwater. But it's in the spirit, right? So when we're in the spirit, we can breathe. I don't know, that just affected me. That stayed with me, stayed in here. I don't steal any of these scenes for my own work, but I just remember them and how it's almost magical, spiritual. Wow, it's huge. Another, thought I had him here. Another series that really, wow. Anyway, Angel Walk, the Angel Walk Saga. Let me hold it right for you, by Roger Elwood. As far as I know, there's 3 of them. I've got 3 of them. And this one really affected me as well. And I'm going to read you, there's just a small paragraph on the back of the book. And again, there's 2 more, but this is the first one in this series or the trilogy. I didn't do more research on him. I haven't seen much from him, so I need to dig deeper. Sorry, Roger Elwood. But here is the synopsis. There's trouble in paradise. The angel Darian believes Lucifer shouldn't have been thrown out of heaven. God's answer is to let him go to earth and see for himself what Lucifer has been up to. What Darian finds both fascinates him and repulses him. At last, like us, he must choose between good and evil, while heaven and hell hang in the balance. Wow. Really good books. A different take on spiritual warfare. It's really, really good. Okay. The next set is, wow, one of my favorite. I have gone back and read this one several times. This is book 1. Let me get it right. The Fall of Lucifer in the Chronicles of Brothers by Wendy Alec. And I think she's reissued them. They've got different covers now, so the new one that you might buy looks different than this, I think. And I'm going to leave links to all of these books down below so you can reference them. There will be affiliate links. So just so you know that, when you order them, I get just a small percentage, but you don't pay any more. So it helps me out. I have to hire an editor and a book cover designer here for the book I'm writing right now. But this one, I've got to read this to you. I can't tell it like that, like it has on the back. For eons, the love and kinship of 3 royal angelic brothers, Michael, Gabriel, and Lucifer, have echoed through the hallowed halls of the first heaven. Lucifer, Prince Regent and eldest brother, Jehovah's Viceroy, imperial, brilliant, passionate, most adored of heaven. Michael, the warrior, commander of the angelic host, valiant, wise, and steadfast. Gabriel, whichever you like, the youngest prince, newly inaugurated, in this series, the Revelator. Throughout eternity, Lucifer has been heaven's favored prince, gifted, ardent, devoted, his throne second only to the Most High, until the fateful moment when he is informed about Jehovah's new innovation. The creation of a new race that is not angelic in nature, a race created of a 300 billion base DNA sequence that will constitute the human genome code. A sweeping epic of origins and mysteries, the fall of Lucifer, tells a tale older than the universe itself. Set in opulent palaces and frightening hell worlds, this is a timeless saga of doubt, of demons and angelic warriors, of obsessive love and treason, and of an ancient evil that knows no bounds. And this is kind of a poem at the bottom. Soon the universe itself will be rocked by war. I'm going to say something later here. A war between three angelic brothers, a war fought for the greatest prize in the universe, the war for the race of men. And I'm telling you, some of you know what's really going on in this day and age, that this is getting close to the end of the age, right? And some of the hybridization and all of that, which I'm not going to totally go into. The published date is 2005. What is that? 20 years ago? A race created of a 300 billion base DNA sequence that will constitute the human genome code. Wow. Wow. This is timeless. This needs to be read again, and I've read this several times. And there's more in the series. Shoot, they don't have them listed here. Maybe they do in the back. But book 2 is Messiah. And again, I don't have those books anymore because my dear pastor, he's Spanish speaking, but he found this book in the library in Spanish and was reading it. And then the next time that they came over for dinner or we saw them, he's like, have you, and I read, and it's like I ran and get my I ran here in my library and got my books, and he took home the next 2 because he's bilingual. He can read in English. He's a very talented man. This is for now, people. Check down below for the references and how to buy these, how to get a hold of these. Maybe your library has them. Evidently, a local library here does because Pastor found them there. And the other one is, taken too long. I should have tapped this, but oh well. Almost done here. The last one is Angels of Humility by Jackie McGurvin. Again, it always goes backwards. Oh, no, that's not that way. Angels of Humility. And I don't know how I got a hold of this. I don't remember. It might have been through my sister. I'm not sure, but really, really a good book. And it's, again, Angels and Demons. On page 55, I underlined, yes, I do that in my books. I didn't give this one away. I've kept it. So she can't wield the power against us, interpreted discouragement, who is a demon in the book, right? His yellow pointed teeth showing behind his evil grin. She's like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. She had the shoes that could take her home any time, but she didn't realize what they could do for her. Boom, right? That's right, said Lying, who's another demon in this book, in our world. Amen? The only weapons we've ever used in the last 2,000 years are deceit and bluff. But we've taken out many Christians because of their ignorance, and we can still take her out too. That's a threat. And in the back, she has a whole end notes that it has references, places where she's studied. She got some quotes from, also verses that she's used in this book, and I'm going to read the back synopsis as well. Paul is a young seminary graduate called as interim pastor to a small rural church. He is full of zeal, but mainly for self-promotion. He sincerely loves Jesus, but past emotional wounds leave him craving attention and affirmation. That sounds like all of us. He is easily led by demonic influencers, especially pride. His angel, Saldu, I'm not sure if I said that right, is regularly frustrated as he tries to guide Paul toward a more humble attitude. Sarah is a recent widow who comes to Jesus at age 71 and joins Paul's church. She is not aware that she has two angels, one a worshiper, the other a warrior, to disciple her in hearing God's voice. Confused by her prophetic gifting, she accidentally offends some church members, including Pastor Paul. Well, it sounds like somebody I know. Ostracized and alone, she chooses daily obedience to God over people's acceptance. Wow. She battles the demons, rejection, discouragement, despair, and loneliness in her daily attempts to please him. Through Paul and Sarah's examples, you will see that the really wonderful news is that living a life that pleases God has nothing to do with grandiose accomplishments, popularity, or getting your teeth and trying harder, gritting your teeth, and I don't edit these things. I edit books, okay? So yeah, sorry, I'll read that again. Has nothing to do with grandiose accomplishments, popularity, or gritting your teeth and trying harder again and again and again. God rewards you for simple, loving, serving actions throughout each mundane day. In this story lies the secret to one day hearing Jesus say to you, and I hope to me, "Well done, good and faithful servant." That's a stack. And that's not all of them. My goodness. I wrote in my column this week at our county newspaper about my to be read piles. That's a plural. There's one in there. There's two in the bedroom. There's one right here. There's one right there. To my defense, that one is just, how many are there? Six books in that pile. And they're all having to do with the book I'm writing right now. Yeah, books. But why? Writing these things, maybe you don't like to read about them. I do. But I want to learn about them. I want to learn, and the more I write about them and study about them and read about them, the angels and demons and all the scenarios and all the things that happen, that go on, the more I write about them. And yeah, one of these days, I think next time or one of these next videos, I'm going to make a video why I write about angels and demons from the nonfiction point of view, because there's a ton of books that I have read that I love to read that are about the spiritual warfare, angels and demons. It's important. Again, I'm Bonnie Lacey. I'm an author. I write weird things. My readers call them gritty. But if I can think of it, it happens, right? I have spiritual sons at Teen Challenge that told me their brutal childhoods, and I can't write just anything. I hope you're having a good day. This is crazy. I leave the links down below to all the books that I referenced today, my pile, okay? Take care. God be with you. Blessed day to you.